Hi, it's Kim with Apostrophe S here, and I've got a cute kit for Easter. It's called our Pastel Shell Kit. And as you can see, this is a big wall hanging in the shape of this oversized, decorated, ornate looking egg. It's bright and cheerful with all of these colors and very springy, and I just love it. I think it's a great way to welcome in Easter and springtime. And while it looks very intricate and ornate, it's one of the simplest projects to do. So if you are a beginner, jump on this one. It's super easy and the payoff is amazing. Now you can display this on a wall. Like I said, it's made to be a wall hanging, but it would also look cute on a tabletop with an easel. So lots of different ways to display this thing. Let me show you your kit. And it's a lot. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay. We've got all of the wood pieces for you to build this wall hanging, and showing you on this big egg. All of the etching is here for you too. These are guidelines to help you piece everything together. And we've also included the paint. So they'll come packaged, the pieces will come packaged with the color it's supposed to be. So all of these are going to be painted blue, all of these will be green, and so on. Okay, now in addition to the paint and the pieces, we've got paintbrushes, glue, a sponge, which is really helpful when you're painting this big white egg part, and some sandpaper. So from home, you are going to need a paper plate that you can use as a paint palette, paper towels and water to clean up any spills that you might have as you're painting over the edges, and also you'll want to rinse out your brushes, so have water handy too. Because you're painting, you will probably need something to protect your wood surface, unless you're amazing and never spill, but who does that really? If you've got those things, you're good to go. So this is a great kit because it's super simple. There are 2 steps in this whole kit: painting and then gluing. So you can do this. Let me show you. Most of the pieces are just painted a flat color, right? So these are just pink, green, purple, and let me dig out one of these pieces. If you're wondering which side to paint and which side to leave, get this out. When they're getting laser cut, there's a dirty side and a clean side. So this dirty side will be the back, and this clean side is what you'll want to paint. If there's any doubt, then just lay out all of your pieces and put them together on the egg, and then you'll figure out which sides are right. So go ahead and paint all of those pieces. Most of them are pretty straightforward. The egg will need 2 coats, so paint your white. I found the sponge more helpful than a brush when I was painting. Paint that, sand it down with your sandpaper, and then paint it once more. And that way you get good coverage and it's a nice creamy matte finish to it. Now for our interesting pieces, we've got 2 that need to be two-toned. One is this tulip piece, and it's labeled with yellow on the bottom, and salmon will be the top part. This is in your salmon bag. So you'll paint these two-toned, and the same thing with the scallop that goes behind the egg. And again, it's labeled for this part being blue, and the top part will be yellow, or the middle part will be yellow. And we have guidelines. I'm not sure how well you can see that on camera, but there's a guideline here. So when you're painting with these guidelines, you're going to want to carry the color just over that guideline. So salmon will go just beneath that line here, and the blue will go just inside the guideline, because this is used for placement, and if your placement is just a little bit off, we still want the blue to show through, so you've got a clean edge. All right, now these are two-toned so that we have a little bit of like a pop of color. It just peeks through when you put your top piece on. It's so cute. I really like that. So paint all of your pieces for step number 1, and then step number 2, we're going to glue. So Just move that out of the way. So start with this big piece, and we found it easiest to apply the glue onto the back side of this egg so that we don't get anything in these little holes. And you'll line up following your guidelines on the bottom and on the sides. Just line it up and wiggle it around until it's just right where you want it. And these pieces are so big that they might have a little bit of a curve to them. So while they're drying, weight them down with some books and just let them dry. And once that's done, you can move on to adding all of your pieces on top. I've already done a few right here, you can see. But I wanted to show you how cute is this little detail with the peekaboo color there. It reminds me of like eyelet fabric on Easter dresses. I think that's such a cute little touch. I really love that. So now all we're gonna do is just continue adding on the layers. And we have a photo for you to follow if you want to do the exact same design that we're doing. I'm doing mine just following the photo that will be included in your kit. But if you want to just ad-lib this and try your own colors and color pattern, then go for it. Or you might have paint at home that you'd like to include into the colors and make it a little bit different color scheme, then go for it. That way you can really personalize this. Another way you could personalize it is we have sandpaper. We've included that just so you can get an even finish on the egg. But you could distress this too and sand down more of these colors so it's a little bit more of a rustic look. And that's kind of cute for springtime. Okay, so I've got my glue on this and I'm just gonna follow my guidelines. They're very faint, like they're subtle, I should say. Like I can see them, but it might be hard to see on camera. So they're there. They're just like seeable enough for me to line these up. But if I'm a little bit off, you won't be able to tell in my finished project, which is kind of nice. So glue those down and then just layer all of your pieces in. This is really fun and not hard. So this is where we just chat with our girlfriends or put on a movie, catch up on whatever's on Netflix that everyone's talking about. I always like to be doing something when I'm watching Netflix so it doesn't feel so much like a waste of time. But in no time at all, oops, that one was a little bit wiggly, you're gonna have this finished wall hanging. It's a perfect way to decorate for Easter, to welcome spring, and just to celebrate the change of season. There's my finished one, so you can see it. Now we've got way more stuff to show you. We've got more kits, fun things coming up for spring and summer, so be sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll be one of the first to know about it. And also follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and Pinterest. We hope you enjoy this pastel shell from Apostrophe S. Make it yours.